This video is for a very special person in my life, one of my biggest fans on Facebook. Put a special request in, so here it comes. This is how to sharpen a knife using a water stone. So, first things first, pick your knife. I think this bad boy. It's all right, newbie from Kin. Very sexy, very sexy. Secondly, you have to soak the stone in water for about 15 minutes usually. Get a good water penetration. Now, I made this little bad boy that sits inside the sink at an angle. The angle's not planned, it's just because that's the fucking angle. But the reason I did it is because when you buy a cheap thing off Amazon like I did, you get this non-slip surface, which is really slippery, even if you put pressure on it. So, I don't want to cut my fingers off, so I made that, and that fits in nice and snug and has no movement, so you can put pressure on, which is great. So, it's not been soaking quite 15 minutes, but one that I got, 1000 grit, 6000 grit. 1000 grit is if you've got a blade which is fucked, but if you're just sharpening before you're cooking, 6000 is fine, because that's just going to give you a better edge. And all that stain on there, by the way, is metal from sharpening before, which will come off. So essentially, I don't know if you can see this. No, I'm not going to do this properly. You basically want to recreate the angle of the blade when you're sharpening, and you can either push or you can sweep. I'll try and get a good shot on it. Hang on. Maybe I'll try it one-handed. I'll try it one-handed. So how I like to do it, starting from the bottom there, and then I sweep up to there, keep going, and you want to keep this wet. It's actually very therapeutic. So obviously you can't just sharpen one side. You want to keep that wet. You don't want it to dry out. I'll switch hands. Now you should do this two-handed. I'll show you how I do it like this. I don't know if you want to see that. This is how I do it like this. I hold it there and there. And then you turn it. You do the same thing. You can look up the exact angle. I think it's about 14 degrees or something, and I haven't googled that, that's from memory, so it might be well out. But really, I kind of keep it about a thumb's width. I keep it about a thumb's width up and keep the pressure there. Now there is another way of doing this, but I don't like it as much, is you can just push on that part of the blade back and forward. You don't feel like so much of a samurai, and then you change that bit of the blade as well, so then you move up to the middle bit. So you can do this, if the blade is buggered, you can do that, and the end. And then you do the same on the other side. But I personally don't like it as much. But like I say, you can start with this and then move on to this. But I find this much more therapeutic, and I find you get better edge. And then you just keep doing it. And obviously when you're looking at stopping and finishing up, you want to start alternating as you go. So then one side, there, swap, there, swap, there, swap, and then that will, there's something called, I think it's called burring. Again, it's a long time I looked it up. Obviously if you just sharpen one side, you'll get an uneven edge. The metal actually curves over, so then you will not have a sharp blade. And then wash off the metal. And again, you'll get the metal debris building up on here, which means you know you're taking off the metal. And you can scrub that. And I think that's pretty much it. And you have a sharp blade. There she is. See how close I can get to the blade. Shit light. No, sorry, I can't focus. Yeah, there you go.